Switzerland, a country famous for its beautiful landscapes, Swiss Alps, cheese, and chocolates. But there is one more thing that makes this country a choice for the ultra-rich people around the globe. It is Swiss banks. Swiss banks that are famous for their privacy, confidentiality, security, and service. We have seen and heard about many people involved in unlawful activities using Swiss banks. But have you ever wondered that how a small and neutral country like Switzerland established its banking that allowed mega rich people from all over the world? Also, do you know that most people who use Swiss banks are not using it for tax evasion only? And there are other important reasons that why people from all over the world have accounts in Swiss banks. There is a lot more behind the Swiss banks that is portrayed in the TV series and movies. It is a destination for not keeping the black money, but provides a lot more that other banks in the world are not able to. In today's video, we will understand the Swiss banking system, how a small country became one of the most famous banking hubs, why do people from all over the world use Swiss banks, what are the benefits of Swiss banks that other banks can't provide, and finally we will see some dark sides and how it impacts the global financial system. So if you are interested to know more about this famous banking destination of the ultra-rich people, then stick around. Switzerland has a long history of banking, dating back to the 16th century, when Swiss merchants and bankers began offering financial services to wealthy European families. This marks the beginning of Switzerland's reputation as a safe haven for money. Then in 1748, the Lombard loan was introduced in Switzerland, allowing customers to borrow money using securities as collateral. This financial innovation became a cornerstone of Swiss banking. By this time, there were no big income taxes in many countries, and the purpose of Swiss banks was to provide security. Wealthy people were using Swiss banks as a safety from wars and political disputes in their nations. In 1815, Switzerland's national neutrality was established by the Congress of Vienna. This brought a lot of money in Swiss banks, and its banking secrecy became a way to build an empire similar to other European countries like France, UK, and Spain. In 1907, the Swiss National Bank was also formed, which helped to stabilize the country's currency and establish a reputation for financial stability. The Swiss Bank Corporation and Credit Suisse were also founded during this period, and they became major players in the banking industry. During World War I, Swiss bankers also went to France to advertise the Swiss banking system. It then followed a lot of wealthy people shifting their valuables in Swiss banks. By this time, countries started to put income tax to support the war, and Swiss banks' privacy and security helped those people to avoid taxes. In 1934, Switzerland introduced the Swiss bank secrecy law as well, to maintain the anonymity of the client. After this law, disclosing the identity of a client without their consent is considered a crime. Since then, Switzerland became the tax haven for many wealthy individuals around the globe. Throughout the 20th century, Swiss banks attracted a large number of foreign depositors to avoid paying taxes in their home countries. Wealthy people saved money on taxes and the Swiss banking industry became more prominent. Today, the banking industry in Switzerland contributes 10% to the GDP. But in the recent years, as the technology took its leap and now every transaction is getting recorded with almost all the bank accounts, it's becoming hard for people to send their money to Swiss bank accounts without paying taxes. Getting money from undisclosed Swiss accounts is equally hard. Apart from this, foreign governments are putting more pressure on Swiss banks to disclose the foreign nationals' banking accounts. After the 2008 financial crisis, Swiss banks were scrutinized for tax evasion and money laundering reasons. After this, Switzerland agreed to cooperate with international tax authorities and become more transparent. Switzerland also signed the US Foreign Account Tax Compliance Act to disclose the US client information to the IRS if the client provides the consent. In 2018, Switzerland's parliament passed a new law where banks can share the client information to foreign authorities in case of suspected tax evasion. Swiss banks also introduced KYC and made it mandatory to declare the source of money before opening any new Swiss bank account. Recently, during the Russia-Ukraine war, Swiss banks had to stop maintaining the accounts for Russians after sanctions were imposed from Europe. Now you might ask that if Swiss banks are sharing the information with home countries, then what is their role today? They are just like any other bank, then why people will choose Swiss banks? But it's not true. There are many other reasons that why people still choose Swiss banks over many other banks. But before coming there, if you have enjoyed the video so far, please smash on the like button, and if you are interested to know more on the business stories, please subscribe to our channel and click on the bell notification so that you never miss a new video from us. Thank you. Despite the recent changes in Swiss banks to introduce more transparency and support foreign authorities, Swiss banks are still a major choice for many wealthy individuals in the world. The first reason for this is privacy. According to banking law of 1934, unless there are legal concerns and are justified in Swiss court, Swiss banks cannot reveal the identity of a customer without their consent. If anyone is breaching this law, they will be subject to the fines of 250k Swiss francs and jail for up to 5 years. This law is the main reason why people still choose Swiss banks. Privacy protects people in case of wars and economic collapses of countries. It also gives people a shield from unwanted attention in case their income is growing in the home countries. This saves wealthy people from online fraud and also gives a sense of security. Another reason is the low-risk investment. Swiss banks are required to maintain a high capital adequacy ratio. Money kept in Swiss bank accounts is 100% insured. While in US, which is the largest economy in the world, FDIC secures deposits only up to $250k. Another reason is to beat the inflation. Many wealthy individuals still don't invest all of their money in the stock market and want to keep it safe in the savings and checking accounts. In countries where the inflation is high, the value of money in bank accounts is decreasing every day. That's why people keep their money in Swiss banks, where generally the inflation is less than 1% as compared to global 2% inflation. In fact, in 2022, where countries like US are facing average inflation of 7%, the inflation in Switzerland is 3.5%. This makes their currency more stable in case of economic slowdown. In the year 2000, one US dollar was equivalent to 1.69 Swiss francs. In 2023, it's equivalent to 0.92 Swiss franc. In the last 22 years, the US dollar has lost almost half of its value compared to Swiss franc. And the way money printing is going in developed countries, there is no doubt that this gap will keep rising in future. And finally, people choose Swiss banks because of Switzerland's solid economy. Switzerland is among the least corrupt nations in the world. The country has not been in wars for a very long time, and they maintain a positive diplomatic relation with almost every country. While this is not a benefit for people living in developed nations, it is a huge benefit for people living in countries that are participating in wars and have corrupt government policies. While the Swiss government has introduced strict laws to know the identity and source of income of their clients and maintain transparency with foreign authorities, but still people are using Swiss banks with multiple loopholes in the system. People from countries where direct deposits in Swiss banks are recorded or taxed use shell companies and trust funds located in foreign lands. Swiss banks have a numbered account system where the identity is not disclosed unless criminal charges are proved for tax evasion or money laundering. And that's why people don't use their name. Instead, they use shell companies and trust funds created in other countries. People also get nationality of multiple countries and disclose only single nationality. And many countries don't have any laws for maintaining accounts with Swiss banks. People set up shell companies and declare them as offshore accounts to avoid taxes and run it through Swiss banks. Also, if any account holder gets caught in case of criminal activities or money laundering, then also only the identity is shared with the foreign authorities, and money will still be maintained and in most cases will be transferred to the beneficiaries. With some commissions, Swiss banks also issue traveler's check without showing the identity of the account holder. People use this for their daily expenditures. Apart from this, Swiss banks also provide safe deposit boxes to protect the precious assets. These items are not taxed, and it's a generational wealth that is safe with the Swiss banks. While we have seen many reasons why people use Swiss banks, but this whole Swiss banking system has a few dark sides as well that you won't hear most often. The first dark side is that the Swiss banking system is completely biased towards the wealthy. They help rich people to become richer by tax evasion using offshore accounts and bank secrecy laws. The secrecy laws also give rise to money laundering, corruption, and many financial loopholes. You can check the corruption in the recent downfall of a Swiss bank, Credit Suisse. I will leave the video link in the I button. Swiss banks directly or indirectly help individuals in evading taxes, which affects the lives of millions of people in their home country. When the wealthy are not paying taxes, government is not getting enough money to support the welfare programs in the countries. It affects many kids from getting a quality education and a proper life. Countries' development is also affected, and this impacts the quality of life for many tax-paying individuals in their countries. This is immoral and a violation of basic human rights. In the past few years, many governments around the world have tried to impose strict laws on Swiss banks, but at max they were able to get only the list of wealthy people who have accounts in Swiss banks. Their wealth and source of income is still a big question. Though the Swiss government claims to cooperate with foreign authorities and include transparency in the system, illegal ways always find the way towards the Swiss bank accounts. So that's about the Swiss banking system today. Let us know what you think about Swiss banks in the comments below. If you have enjoyed this video, please do like it. If you are new here, please subscribe to our channel and help us grow. We are trying to bring more amazing business stories to you. Also, let us know what other business stories you would like to see. With that said, I shall catch you in the next one. Thank you and have a nice day.